Welcome everybody to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. So today we're going to be doing a little update on Derek Chauvin, alright? He got stabbed up in prison, and I did a video already on this a couple days ago when it first came out, but there wasn't too much juice on it. Information, right? But there's some more now, and we're gonna have to talk about it, man, because it's like, it's like a storybook almost. A lot of C words running around with this story, all right? Conspire. I see. All right, let's just say it like that. But I got to give you my 2 cents on the prison side of things. Turns out he got in a place that I'm very familiar at. We'll get there, but first, as always, if you enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on why old Chauvin's in prison. If you don't know, just go do a simple Google search. But I do want to recap from the last video that we did. Remember when the story first broke, it just said that he got stabbed and he was air flighted to a hospital or something along those lines. And I said in the video that how could this happen? Where was he at for this to take place? I said maybe they were probably doing med call or chow call. Something to the point where there's other inmates around. And there ain't too many movements for a high profile individual like this to be doing with a bunch of people. Usually, if he is around other inmates, it's going to be people trying to be protected as well. Right? So I wasn't too far off, but I was off. It definitely took place somewhere I didn't expect. But it makes sense. It says here that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been removed from a local hospital and returned to prison custody for his follow-up care. The same prison that he got stabbed up in, man, dang. He's probably worried a bit. If I was in his shoes, God, it'd be a stressful situation. Let's all be glad we're not. Chauvin, who is serving a 22-year sentence for the murder of George Floyd, was stabbed multiple times at a federal correctional institute in Tucson, Arizona on November 24th. His family is very concerned about the facility's capacity to protect Derek from further harm. Chauvin was stabbed 22 times in the prison library by a fellow inmate. Now, I read in another article that it was a law library, and the guy stabbed him from the back, snuck up on him while he was at the photocopy machine. Right? Like I said in the beginning that it took place in an area that I'm very familiar with. And I am. The law library, as a matter of fact, at one place I was hustling a lot of nudie pictures. Right? But I got my hands on a couple color full penetration magazines. Very rare to get. Usually people get the photocopied kinds. They get the original, take it to the law library, whatever, get it photocopied and sell it to the R. It's actually a profitable business, believe it or not. Not to mention, I just kind of enjoyed it. It's like catching Pokemon in there, But it was never me photocopying it. So that's kind of strange that they're allowed to do it, especially an inmate with such high-profile situation, right? You would think that there's a little process. You'd have to talk to the main guy running the library, get him to do it. And that's how I had to do it in a medium-level security prison. So it shocks me that in the article it said he was doing it himself, got snuck from behind, and stabbed 22 times. Now, this is even crazier. The guy, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I've heard it a few times already, but I'm still saying it the way I want to say it. Tursak, I believe, is his name, but man, this guy's got a pretty dark past. But he said that he would have killed old Chauvin if it wasn't for the guards responding so fast. That speaks volumes for the institution, though, because it seems like they are trying to, make sure he's safe a bit. Most places ain't showing up till after they're dead. Now, let me answer a question that a lot of people might be asking. How did this guy even get close to him in the law library? Well, I've been doing some research, and I don't know how true this is, but, the federal prison system doesn't really have SNY yards or PC blocks so much, but more along the lines of like whole prisons built for protecting certain individuals. And the inmates around them are pretty much in similar situations. So the guy who ended up stabbing him, like I said, has a dark past. According to the charging documents, John Tursak, 52, hopefully I pronounced that right, is charged with attempted murder, assault with intent to commit murder, and assaulting resulting in seriously bodily injury. The attempted murder and assault with intent to commit murder is punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Now look, Tursak was scheduled to complete his 30-year sentence in just 3 years. That's what a lot of people are wondering. Why would this guy risk going home in just 3 years to kill this guy? That I can't answer. It's always going to be a mystery. Maybe he was forced to do it. Maybe his life was on the line himself. He just didn't tell nobody. Or maybe, he didn't want to leave prison. 30 years in lockup, not to mention, we're going to get to it, probably has a bunch of enemies on the streets. He's been safe in prison. Why not keep it going? But as of right now, Mr. Tersak, there ain't no photos of him. That's even crazier to me, man, I guess it's what has to be done. He used to be, from what the article says, a federal informant. I'm not going to get into Tersak's deep, dark past because it's linked to some pretty mysterious situations, I guess you could say, but Tersak told investigators that he attacked Chauvin on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, as a symbolic connection to the Black Lives Matter movement. And after all this took place, people were lacing the comment section up saying Happy Shanksgiving. Oh, man. I do remember seeing it, though. I was shocked that he did it on Black Friday. I was like, did he possibly mean to do it like that? And I guess he did. But it goes on to say that Chauvin's legal team said they are working to get him removed from the Tucson prison. After the stabbing, Tersak was moved to an adjacent federal penitentiary in Tucson. And I'm sure, like I said in the last episode, Mr. Chauvin, he's probably going to be going to 23-1 for at least next year or two. Solitary confinement, they can't risk it. But sooner or later, he will walk around other inmates once again. But everything about this story of him getting stabbed in the law library with the individual that used to be informant, it all kind of makes sense. I mean, he's around someone else who needs protection as well. So the guard's probably like, man, that ain't nothing gonna happen between these two for sure. They're both probably greenlit anywhere they go. I don't know. I'm just assuming on why they would allow these individuals to be close together. Either way, the only way that he's going to survive, like I ended the last episode, is if he's on 23-1 for the rest of his bid. Somewhere like the 80X Supermax. But the kicker here that is very strange to me is he only had 3 years left after doing the 30-year bid. Who in their right mind would go up to someone and try to kill him? Another part of the article said he did it for notoriety. But this story, just like many others, shows exactly what to expect from prison. Anything can come your way, especially when you got enemies. I say all the time it doesn't matter where you're at, but there are a couple prisons where these guys, man, they ain't getting touched. Not by a person, not even by a fly, but they can't put everybody there, Those are for the real criminals of America, I guess you could say. Or other countries too, But anyways, so many things plays a factor into a person's safety in prison. And it can change up at any given time depending on who's running the correctional officers, the majors, warden, or just the inmates. There could be a turnover from gang wars inside the prison, and the next flock of inmates that come in ain't no gang members or nothing. They're just chilling. But sooner or later, they go home and they get transferred somewhere else. And the cycle will turn over again. You just got to play the cards that you're dealt wherever they put you. I could tell a story about somewhere I was at, and someone could tell you a totally different version of it. And they might not be lying. It's just probably how, it was for them when they were in there. Always remember, it's a very tricky and unexpected world behind bars. It really is a whole nother world, to be completely honest. I was watching someone, react to someone's video who was telling a prison story. And the reactor's never been to prison, and he was trying to break all these holes into the person's story, but at the same time, I'm watching the video like, bro, you have no idea. Everything that he's saying is legit. There's certain ways and processes to move behind bars, man, especially when you're on 23-1, lockdown status. There's tricks of the trade. So a lot of people don't understand this type of stuff, and they'll just react and try to find holes in things. But what I'm trying to get to, just like I was saying, you just don't know when it comes to prison. There's different ways to handle situations wherever you're at. Anyways, until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed a quick little rundown of old Chauvin. If anything happens to him later on down the road, you'll be getting an update from me. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this story. I'd love to hear y'all's input, man. There's a lot of different views on it. In the meantime, stay tuned. I got plenty more content coming your way. And as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.